Hi, welcome. This is Gail. I thought I would share with you some of the projects and things that I worked on this past weekend at a little art retreat. There were only three of us. There was Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes and Suzanne, who came from the suburbs of Chicago. And so we had a great play from Thursday through Sunday night, and we all left on Monday morning, and I headed to visit my daughter and grandson for a few hours before I came home and crashed. We had so much fun. And one of the things that Lori and I discovered, I don't know, over the pandemic was that, initially we went and we crafted and we shared things, and we might work on some similar things. But at one point I took down this these vintage flower bags, because we had seen Jessica Rapp create these lovely journals using flour sacks. And so I found some on Etsy, purchased them, and brought them down and said to Lori, I'd like to make one. You want to make one with me? So we finished a whole project that weekend. And what we discovered was that made us feel so successful and fulfilled. So ever since then, we've been creating projects when we get together. Yes, there's time to work on our own stuff, but we plan little projects, and Lori did a great job of planning some things for us. So let me show you what we did. I don't know where she got the idea, but the first thing we did, which isn't super razzle-dazzle, but it's wonderful because we have so many goodies to choose from now. And it's wonderful because what we did was Lori tore apart a dictionary, and we separated the pages by letter. So each of us got, like I had T and G for my initials, and then we spread out the rest of them as we finished up. We cut out positive words or words that we thought would work in our journal. So for example, here's celebrate. So we cut that and glued it onto some tea-stained and paper scraps, and then used our little, either our Tim Holtz cutting blade or those little tiny snippers that you get like these, and cut around it. And then we have all of these for every letter of the alphabet. And we really discovered there are some letters that don't have a lot of words. So here's another example. This one is idea. And certainly we get a lot of ideas when we're arting and crafting, and we want to use them in our journals. And so there you go. So we worked on these, I don't know how many hours, but we got them all done. So each of us, we then split up the piles. Lori sat and split up the letters and doled them out to each of us, so we all have these words for every letter of the alphabet, or pretty close to every letter. As I said, some letters don't have words that are appropriate for using in our junk journals. But so now we have these, and they're neatly organized in these. And yeah, so that's a neat idea. We can just pull them out and use them in our journals as we like, So that was a cool idea. Now, let me show you some of the bigger things. This is not a project per se, but this is something I worked on in between projects, and Suzanne played with me as well. This was done using Magicals by Lindy's, and this is scrumptious. I love it. These are water soluble. This happens to be just some watercolor paper, but look at the shimmer on those. I have 4 sets, and I used all 4, but the ones that I love the most had the shimmer to them and were more pastel-y like this. These are all my favorite colors together. Oh, just so yummy. Okay, so we played with those. This is my favorite. I'll show you some of the rest. That one is on, as I said, watercolor paper. This is something that Suzanne did using those baby wipes, and she put the Magicals onto the baby wipe, and they bloom so pretty on that as well. So there's that sample. Okay, now let me see what I have going here. I had these all sorted out, and then kind of, okay, here's the rest of the Magicals, and you can see they're all different. Some of them, I'm not sure which is the right side and which is the side that the color bled through. This is on some music paper. And so you see, it depends on how much water you use as to how much you lose the bloom, and it just blends in. So, whoops, getting into some of my jelly plate work. Now this I experimented with some, and I'll show you what I mean. You can see I love the sparkly ones the best. This I put down one of my stencils. It's a Stamperia one, and I don't know if you can see the tree. I think it said hasta luego there, but anyhow, and there were some flowers. But after I was done wetting and putting the color down, prior to, I put the stencil down, and then I added all the color in the water. And you can see it ran underneath a little bit on the stencil, but not too bad, okay? And then here's the back, which also is kind of cool. Oh, wow, you can really see the tree on this side, too. So, hey, you know, who knows which side I'll use from that. Now, this one, I did not use any stencil, but you see there's already a design that says autumn leaves, and some of the coloration kind of fits. And there's the back side of that one. Okay. Then, this one, again, I stuck to the goldish color. I put my stencil down, and then I added the color. First, you put water down on the paper, okay? Then you sprinkle your Magicals. In this case, I put water down, put down my stencil, and then I sprinkled the Magicals. And then you add water to get it spread out as much as you want it to spread out. Okay? And there's the back of that. So that also was kind of cool, isn't it? Okay. And this one, I don't know. Somehow I ended up with what I thought looked like a tree. And then I just played with adding color to that, because I thought, that's kind of cool. And then here's the back. So you see how muted it is on the back, and you get none of the shimmer, but that's okay too. This, you can see I added more water to. but still some beautiful coloration, which kind of matches the colors up here in this red sails in the sunset. Okay, and the back. And this one again, somehow this reminded me of a tree. I don't know. I just sort of played with adding color lightly to this one. And then the back. I Found $1 Million Baby is the name of the song. Okay, so that's all with the magical play. Then I just did some jelly plating. This is just a roll-off piece. Again, you see, I love the shimmer and the razzle-dazzle. Now these were done on the music paper. And there, that might be easiest to see. You know, I was playing with plating over top of things. See, I love these. This is, oh, yummy to me. This was a stamp that Lori gifted me for Christmas. One of the wooden stamps. So, just some yumminess. I didn't do anything on the back of those. Then there's this one, which this was sort of a pickup of the Krusties, you know, on your jelly plate. But also using, I saw Fairy Treasures, I believe, use, I think hers were like old CDs. This happens to be off of a spool of some sort of ribbon or something. So I want to experiment more. She had added words, a stencil with words over top. And so I want to play with that some more. This is just a roll-off sheet. Nothing spectacular, but you know, you can use those in your collage. Okay, so then of course I used deli paper. And this is just some light stuff here. Over here it's really light, but I kind of like it. It's got a little shimmer. What I did was I had my little 5x7 and then my 8x11. Whoops. And I had both of those going. And I'm thinking about getting another 8x11 to have two of those going. And this, you can see, it's got a little sparkle to it. Sort of a yellow and pink. And this has some little circular design. I'll show you that one last because that's my favorite. This one, you can see I was playing, I have PBO or Pabeo, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. And I was playing with the different shades of blue and green here. And then some pieces. This is from a strip of an egg carton. This is some sort of a filter that I think Suzanne had gotten, and I made a grid with it. And then this was a piece of yarn that I had wound around, but it was thick, so to get in between it was kind of hard. And then I used, as you can see, some bubble wrap. So there's that. This was using that grid stamp and allowing the deli paper to wrinkle some. And oh my gosh, I love this. Looks like an old wall to me. So that's kind of scrumptious. Here's this one. Love that again. You know, playing with different colors and backgrounds. This is just nothingness. Something I rubbed off and that's all I have left. And then this too, I just was trying to get in between. I think it was leaves, and that just, nothing came out with those leaves, so I have to play with it. It was a placemat that Suzanne had gifted me. So, this paper, it's a tissue, But it's a relatively heavy tissue, and it has these sparkle dots all over it. And so I just kind of had fun playing with putting down some paint. This is using that circular design again, that stamp, that wooden stamp from Lori. And then this is just using like a lid off of something and doing the cap. Then down here, let me fold that over, it's easier to see. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. This was using that part of the egg carton again. Very subtle design from that. And just playing with colors, basically. But so yummy. I just had a blast. It is so relaxing doing jelly plating and playing with the magicals. It's just getting dirty. Just fun. Just so much fun. Okay, so now let me show you this since I have this out. Lori gifted me again for Christmas. Thank you, Lori. This paper pad, it's a Tim Holtz ideology, and it's called Dapper, and there are 36 pages in it. Very masculine. Very masculine. And so when I got it, I looked through it and I thought, oh, these are kind of neat. I never do anything masculine, so I need to do a masculine project. Well, the last project that we did together was this folio. And Lori did hers. I think she and Suzanne both used beautiful printables from Antique Papery. And I had this paper, so I had to use it. And I decided as soon as I found this page that has, if you look and see, it says watches, clocks, jewelry. Well, my husband was a horologist, which is a watchmaker, a jeweler, and a large clock repair person. And so I thought, I'm using the Tim Holtz paper, and he died in February, and I thought this is going to be an homage to him. You know, let's honor him. And I got to thinking about all of the paraphernalia and ephemera that I have that would work with this. Now, Suzanne gifted me this wonderful ribbon with the numbers and the measurements on it. So, and this is a project that Lori came up with. I think initially it's something that we had seen Angela Kerr do, but Lori altered it quite a bit. And let me see if I can zoom in just, whoops, wrong way. There we go. Zoom in a little bit and you can see it a little bit closer. So this is using the Tim Holtz paper that had to do with the clocks and the jewelry, and it had these numbers, and I spread that across both parts of it. This actually, if you can see, says Bowman Technical School, my husband's name, Jeffrey Tuthill, March of 1972, and this was a watchmaking class that he was in. And this is great because he had no absences, which is kind of unusual, because I noticed on some of his other little report cards he had missed, you know, some time. And the neat thing is that I used his report card because if you look over here on the paper, this is a report card for someone from, I believe, 1918 who was doing a class for watchmaking and jewelry. So that was just way cool. So I have done one tag, and I used the paper from the Tim Holtz pad and just sort of collaged it on. And then I used Jeff's report card for this whatever watchmaking class. So it's called a monthly report. And then on the back, I used you know how you have all the different sizes of the Tim Holtz pages. So I used that size and created a pocket. And then I put another one of his report cards. This was for his clock making. And he had 2 days absent there. But I noticed he had like 5 days absent in one class. So must have been an early morning class. Or one he didn't care for. Or maybe he was sick. Who knows? But anyhow, so that's as far as I've gotten in terms of decorating tags. I did slip one of his report cards in there. This one is from watchmaking as well. So I've taken those. This is actually a scan of his original report card, and I may just end up using his original ones, or at least slipping them in the back pocket on the tag, so we'll see. But anyhow, so let me show you the rest of this. This is made up totally of recycled envelopes, for the most part, okay, or other envelopes. Okay, and you don't have to do this if you were making it, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to make it sort of matchy-matchy on each side, but the other two ladies did not do that, so it was just me. And using up the paper I had, okay? So you see, again, here's another pocket and tag that go in, okay, in both. This one's a cute little one made from those little tiny coin envelopes. It's 2 of them put together. So, yeah, just, you know, the tags are empty. And again, this is a big sheet of that page that had the clock and watchmaking stuff on it. So I'll show you how this is, you know, the same on the back, and then opens up like so. And again, that was me that did the matchy-matchy, and you have tags in both halves. Then again here, and you have tags in both halves again. And little cigar bands, you know. And then this was, of course, still this, no matter what I do, I'm still getting a little bit of bend back on there. So maybe get out some more of my glue and take care of that. And so this is the cigar boxes, and this speaks to me and to my husband, because he had many supplies in little cigar boxes and lots of little parts and big parts and cigar boxes. Then this is just a little journal. I mean, so far very plain. That's why that stuck. I gotta glue that down. That's why I kept sticking going in. And then you see, it's just very plain paper at this point. But like I said, I'm not done yet. This is just where I'm at for the moment. But I wanted to show you that these are some of the projects we do. This took us a good part of a day to do, but it was so much fun. Just so much fun. And we, you know, like I said, the other ladies used some papers from Antique Paperie, and no 2 were alike. We all ended up doing different types of envelopes and folds and things, and so each of us did something different. And so hopefully, I know Suzanne doesn't have a channel. I wish she did. She does beautiful work. But I know Lori has a channel, and perhaps at some point she will show you what she created over the weekend. And yeah, I'm going to get this bow tied. Maybe, maybe not. Well, I'm just going to leave it for right now. Okay, so let me show you some of the other projects. Okay, so this is a really fun little project that we worked in, and I'm going to zoom in some more so you can see it. Okay, and this one was using obviously Edith Holden papers, and I added from some of my papers some words. Actually, I decapitated a bird here, so I wanted to cover up the bird body. Daffodils that come before the swallow dares and take the winds of March with beauty. Okay, good old Edith. And as you can see, craft colored paper behind, cardstock or file folder, I can't remember which. And we tried to cut the papers up so that there was a little consistency across. And mine, it wasn't so great, but I had this on it, and I thought, well, I used part of the decapitated bird and put it over here, and then I love those numbers on her pages, so I added that as well. And then Lori gave us some charms, and so I thought this little bird, whoops, there it is, on a swing was kind of cute, so I added that. And then on the inside, there's this little pocket here, but look, it's really one of those little, whoops, I'm stuck there, those little bags, and yeah, add some little tags in there. So, isn't that cute? So, we'll put that like that. And then some papers to make a little journal. So, notice on the inside, it is just the word pages, right? The text pages. Okay, so, that's all the more there is to that. But it's such a cute little ephemera holder and journal. So there we have it. Alrighty. Then, this is something that I came up with. And first let me show you my inspiration. I guess that the original inspiration was from a Stampington magazine, be it Somerset Studio or Art Journal or what have you. But Susie McGuire always goes into her Stampington, or did go into her Stampington or whatever magazines, and come up with an inspiration and try to create one similar. So Susie is Creative Cafe Girl, and so hers was a bit grungier, because that's her style, but I watched her, and so I created my version of it. And mine has quotes in it, and this is coffee filter, and these, the bottom part, are coffee sleeves, like so, okay? Coffee sleeves and coffee filters, okay? And then, so that is the coffee sleeves and the coffee filter, that's your cover, okay? And then, obviously, this is just some tea-stained or coffee-stained paper or avocado, I'm not sure. And then I filled mine with, I love those old Tim Holtz people. And then also, Caroline's Craftery has some adorable printables of like Tim Holtz people. And then, so I decorated with some quotes and different things. So, that's one thing you can do with your coffee sleeves, you know? Anyhow, so you get the idea what was done initially, okay? Well, my son always brings me his coffee sleeves now, and he'll often pick me up a hot chocolate when he goes to Bigby. So I had a collection of those, and I was talking, I don't know, to someone on the phone, perhaps my daughter, but I'm not positive. And I got to playing with it, and so I ended up taking the coffee sleeve and a business envelope, and I slid the envelope up inside, and I thought, that could be like a little coffee tag holder. And I liked that idea. And so that's exactly what I did. And I just cut these off halfway. The envelope is cut halfway. And that was certainly large enough to hold the tags. So what my idea is if you use 6 coffee sleeves and create 6 pages, you have enough so that you could do the 12 months of the year. Because this goes into an accordion folder or holder for tags. And I'll show you the one that I ended up creating. This is the one that I created, and I used Andrea from Artie Mae's papers, and I think these are all freebie papers from her actually. And you can see the tag fits down in there very nicely. You can put one on the front and one on the back. So this is what I did. This is your totally not at all embellished, but the papers are so gorgeous. Do you need to embellish them? That's my question. Okay, and I don't have tags in every single one of them, but I wanted to give you the idea. And I just had some craft tags, and I threw them in to show you. So that would be, I guess, the inside. And this would be the outside, or back, whatever. Okay, but you get the idea, correct? So it's an accordion holder for tags. Now, so this one is going to be Christmas themed when I get the tags done, and then I will adorn it in some way, shape, or form. But I may spend more time adorning the tags than the cover, because I think the holder itself is really pretty with Andrea's beautiful papers. So then I got to thinking, okay, so that's a Christmas themed one. What about if I did one that's Saint Nick, right? So all Santa Claus. Now this I intend to put some snow on it and make it look like a chimney, okay? And then I thought, however many pages I want to do, for all the different versions and tags that I can create with different looking Santa Claus, Saint Nick, whatever you call them, Papa Noel. And I thought that would be kind of a fun one to do. And I wanted to see how well my machine would sew over these coffee filters. Now, I will say that the ones from Bigby aren't too terribly thick. They do the job, mind you. They're not too terribly thick. But what we discovered as we were doing this project is one size doesn't fit all, but the coffee filter sleeves. These coffee sleeves. The sleeves can be wider and they can be longer, and most definitely can be thicker. Lori ordered some online to make sure we had enough, and the ones that she received were considerably thicker, with more corrugation, and they were bigger and wider. So, something to keep in mind, you know, if you're going to make one of these. So there's that idea. And then I had suggested, you know, you could do one for months of the year. And I wish I had both of the other ladies to show you. And hopefully, again, Lori will do a video and show you hers, because hers is to an Edith Holden theme for each month of the year. And then Suzanne made one for months of the year, but hers was using a variety of papers and such. So that was really cool. So another idea I had was just looking at the shape. Well, this reminds me of a flower pot. So I could see this being like a flower tag holder, you know, where you have different flowers on tags. And then Suzanne was making hers, and she put her coffee filter upside down. Well, when she did that, I immediately saw a house. So my idea now is, and I've started it, to make a house tag accordion folder, so that I have one of these holders and a tag with a picture of every house I've ever lived in, which actually it's only like 8 or 9, I believe, so far. So, of course, I didn't include like my college dorms. If I do that, it will be a bigger holder. And so Lori had this wonderful wallpaper that had great texture. And so this one is going to be my Vassar house. I have to put windows on, but it had a burgundy-ish door and flower boxes that were the same color. And then I need to put the windows, and it was a gray, a little gray, light gray house, okay? So I haven't done the back. And then, you know, this also is textured, needs windows, needs more decoration. But I thought, oh, you could make a wonky houses tag holder too. You know, I see that Tracy has a new, like, wonky house kit. Or you can make them out of your scraps. I mean, just a fun project. So lots of ideas of things that you can do with these. So I hope you enjoyed some of what we worked on, the projects anyhow, that we worked on at the craft retreat, the art retreat. And I hope that you are able to get together with some of your friends and do some arting at times. It really is so much fun to have someone who shares your interests and be able to, you know, just get synergized, sharing ideas and materials and goodies. It's just wonderful. So I would hope that you will find your joy and follow that joy, whatever it may be. Get out there and art some, create, have some fun and relax. And please, until next time, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye.